story here, but some of you have probably heard about Kshama Sawant, the only member of the Seattle City Council who consistently fights for the best interest of the working people in Seattle and abroad. And makes sense. She is actually a socialist. That's what, if you're a socialist, that's obviously what you should do. That's what Kshama Sawant does. Just tireless advocate for the working people, always willing to call out the ills of capitalism and big business. And as a result, there's this recall campaign against her. We saw during the last election cycle, Amazon dumped in a bunch of money into their to try to get her defeated. Didn't work. And again, like you don't see the this recall campaign against other people on the Seattle City Council because they are not as much of a threat to the status quo as Kshama Sawant is. So if you're able to help out in any way, whether with time or money, super important that we stand with Kshama Sawant, during this right-wing corporate-backed recall campaign against her. So again, this is from, it's pretty telling. This is a letter from all these unions: UFCW 21, was that United Food Child Care Workers, maybe, Service Employees International, Healthcare, SEIU, OPIW, not sure what, Education Association, UAW, was United Auto Workers, Unite Here 8, WFC 8, Resident and Fellow Physicians Union, Bookworkers Union, National Writers Union. So again, the right-wing corporate-backed recall campaign. Who's on the side of Kshama Sawant? The working people, the membership of these unions, childcare workers, healthcare workers, grocery store workers, physicians, teachers, people that work, in the book industry, writers union, etc. It was Sawant's very involvement in that fight for Better Seattle that led to the current recall attack against her. Voters have reportedly elected her because she unambiguously fights for working people and social movements. And again, that's why this recall campaign is being instituted, because she is a effective and very clear and strong voice in the interests of the working people in these different social movements. Many of the donors are the same wealthy CEOs, board members, and lobbyists that fight our union's efforts to secure living wages and safer, healthier working conditions. Who else would be so intent on removing a council member who fights for a higher minimum wage, stronger tenant protections, and affordable housing? Again, the same interests whose corporate profits would be cut into if we had affordable housing, if we had a livable wage, if people weren't so easily to be able to kicked out of their homes. And again, Kshama Sawant always on the right side of these issues, and that is why this right-wing corporate-backed recall campaign against her has been instituted. As union members, we believe in democratic principles. We believe every voice should be heard, whether that's in our workplace or our halls of government. If this recall campaign were to succeed in pushing the vote out to a special election, it would be yet another move to suppress the voices of District 3, that's Sawant's district. Voters who have repeatedly chosen Sawant to represent them for the past 8 years. Make no mistake, the recall effort is an attack on the democratic decisions of District 3 voters and on the victories we have won in Seattle in recent years. A decision this important needs to be made fairly, with everyone's voice heard and signed. Those unions and their membership. Oh, shit, yeah. So here's Sawant's Twitter, just so you get a little frame of reference of what she's talking about. Look, I mean, she's getting a petition out there urging council members to support the bill to ban Seattle police from training with nations violating the Geneva Conventions of the UN. So again, because the Seattle police were going over and being trained by the, Israeli occupation apartheid forces there. Garfield Superblock. She was on Jordan Chariton, Status Quo, which was good. Talking about the horrors of Amazon. Garfield. Worker struggles worldwide. Love that internationalism. Union for longshore workers. Yeah, worker struggles worldwide. Completely agree. Completely agree. Look at this. We're marching to demand that the Seattle Democratic Port Commissioners stand with the Block the Boat and union longshore workers not allow the Israeli ZM cargo ship to be unloaded. Boom. Again, so right there. Doesn't miss. Seems to always be on the right side of these social issues, whether it's, speaking out against the crimes that the apartheid state of Israel continues to commit against the Palestinians, police brutality, trying to get a livable wage, trying to get affordable housing, etc. And this is why this recall campaign has been instituted against her by these corporate-backed and right-wing conservative interests. Solidarity. We must build global working class solidarity and Palestinian oppression by the Israeli state. Boom. Again, she gets it. She gets it. And that's why this recall campaign has been started against her. That's why Amazon tried to defeat her in the last campaign cycle. Didn't succeed. And this is just, again, another attempt to, push back against the only Seattle City Council member who is actually standing up and fighting and will continue to do so for the working people of Seattle and abroad. So if you can help out, Kshama Sawant, do it if you can. Definitely a politician worth supporting, in my opinion. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe, share. All part of the people. Peace. Much love.